I won't be ready to go to YouTube, and then we'll be ready to go. And then we kind of need to give them a couple of seconds. So let's actually shoot the Briz. Let's shoot the Briz and talk for a couple of minutes. Are you okay, Doc Phoenix? I have to be very mindful of the fact that so with the Dr. Nefertiti Valerie, Dr. Val, not here this week. I'm doing this, and to top it off, I'm a little brain funked, so I'm moving a little slower.
Please bear with
Do you
me.
Can you bear with us? Do you have anywhere to be if we're running maybe 20 minutes behind?
No, I have people on the other side decorating for me. I'm good. I'm getting ready for my so I do kink parties and I have one this weekend, and like I said, I decided to take like over a week off of work. So I am playing catch up, but they know what they're supposed to be doing, so I'm okay.
You're
Sweet.
okay.
Just
Okay,
preparing for
so
the party.
I'm going to connect us to YouTube. I'm going to shoot the shit for a couple of minutes before we start just to see if we get some people on before we go live so we can say hi and shit. Okay. Um
I'm assuming I'm
We
doing the
play the music.
Wait a
introduction.
minute. Oh, we're already live.
Just kidding. We are
Hi
live, live,
YouTube.
live. Oh wait, I didn't get the notification that we're on live on YouTube. Just that we're recording on
We're
here.
live. We're
We are
indeed
live on YouTube.
live. We
Hold
are.
on, let me see.
See anything?
Yeah, it came up on my phone that we're live. Ooh
Oh
boy.
yeah, I see it now.
That's
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I wonder why we didn't get the
No one's on yet.
notification.
Yay.
Wonder why we didn't get the
Oh, someone
notification
just
for
joined. Oh, that's probably me.
that. That might be
Hello,
me.
world. No, or it might be both of us.
Oh wait, yep, I see it.
Okay.
Where did it go?
All right. What's that? How's it go? Testicle.
Testicles, testicles. One, two, three.
All right. I think we are ready to get started. A. B,
Y'all
B,
see where
B.
we're live? I don't see it.
It popped
Let
up
me
on my
share.
thing.
Hey, friends, get in here. Get in here and join the party.
Party.
I don't think people can hear me say that, but why not? All right, how do I share this?
Started. There we go.
It's weird when you hear yourself on other people's stuff. No one ever joins. No one ever joins from my Facebook posts. Like as soon as I post stuff like this on Facebook, no one sees it. It's like
uh,
really annoying.
huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, they see my little quiz about what cheesy garlic bread are you, but never this.
Like it goes
My
like
friend see
not a
the
single
post.
like, nothing. It's so weird. Facebook is a hater.
Hater,
Hater.
hater.
Zuckerberg is a hater, and I don't care if I said his name wrong. No, no, no,
Ooh,
no. Oh no.
Okay
ooh.
with the
Everyone's gonna be
backup.
like,
I'm just
Don't
falling
mind me.
in with the backup.
I just like falling in with the chaos. Don't mind me.
all right. Are we ready? I don't know if we are going to get anyone joining us tonight,
We got
but
five people so far.
oh, we do have 5 people. I mean, it's
Hmm
probably all four of us, but
I mean, it's four of us plus somebody else.
it is
Whoever you
someone else.
are,
Who
say
you
hello
are?
in the chat.
Well, it's not
Reveal
even me.
yourself.
Miss D, since I am doing the hot topic, how about you do the bio? And
Sounds like a plan.
sound good?
All
All
right.
right, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, we're going to go ahead and I will keep track of the time
We're
if I can
gonna
find my timer.
do it,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
do it, do it.
Party. Y'all, I got my glass
Party.
of wine tonight, YouTube. It's going to be
Woo!
on and popping. And it's not a small glass either. Dot Venus is like,
I'm
oh my God, I didn't know that she was so
Like, who are these
crazy.
heathens?
No,
I'm
I was
drinking
actually
my
wondering if
wine
Miss
out of a
T had.
lovely
I
glass.
know last year she was on the cider. She was excited about it being
I
cider
was, but
time.
unfortunately, this is not a cider. This is
That is really cute.
the mango, whatever that tall thing of mango juice is. Was it Arizona? Is that with some
Oh,
gin?
okay. E and J, you said?
Is that with some gin?
Jen, okay. I was about to say E and J.
Oh
Is we
no.
going 90s up in this joint?
Oh no,
Okay,
he's
we're
way
going
too pretty for
live.
gin. Way too pretty.
That is way too pretty. Yes. Okay,
I
we're
mean,
gonna go
I'm saying
ahead.
EJ.
I knew what you meant. All right, I think we're ready.
Let's do
As
it.
ready as we're gonna be. All
Let's
right,
do
going
it.
live. We're gonna start off with the music in five, four, three.
Welcome to
Hello, everybody.
Brown Chicken Frick. Take it away, Miss T.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions here live on YouTube. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with us. We have an amazing guest with us today. She was here with us last year for Kinktober, and don't worry about who it is yet because we got a bunch of words to bring our delightful guest back in. You probably remember her if you were rocking with us last year. If you weren't rocking with us last year, go back into our past episodes and you will see the episode with her. So we are going to get to our lovely guest in just a moment. But we also have our other two fabulous hosts, KD and Miss Tracy. Our beloved leader, unfortunately, cannot be with us this evening, but she's somewhere outside in the great world, probably stepping on somebody's neck and humiliating them, and it's okay. That's what she's here for, and we love her and everything about her. Doc Val, we miss you. Come back home, Mom. We miss you. But outside of that, let's get into our guests, or not our guests yet. First of all, we're gonna go in, talk to our guests. Our guests are hostess. I cannot talk today. Tracy, hi. How you doing?
Good. Well, I'm cold. As you can see, I have a big sweatshirt on. It is freezing. We are expecting our first snowstorm this week.
What?
Okay,
Hold
I
Yes.
don't
on.
even need you to mention that word yet. We are not supposed to be talking about
Right.
that yet.
We haven't even had turkey
Reason
yet.
why I'm not that
Okay.
far north, because absolutely not.
So we know it's an El Nino season. So we know
Mm-hmm.
that the weather is going to be a little wacky. And if you live in a snowy area or a colder area, you're probably going to get a lot more snow and ice and a chill this year. It's going to be, last year was relatively nice. This year is going to be a little bit messier. So
Mm.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I have my drink. I have all the cakes and all the breads in the house already. Like, let's go.
Oh,
Let's
so you
commence the
stocked up.
Halloween watching movie.
I know that's right. KD, how you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful because it was 70 degrees and no snow today.
Dang, I know that's right.
Oh man, I don't even want to think about that stuff yet, but I am so ready because it is spooky season. Did you guys see the fall of the House of Usher yet?
No, not yet. It's on my queue. I
So,
think I'm gonna
I
start it
mean,
tonight.
I'll be honest, originally I thought it was about my favorite musician, but it wasn't.
Ma'am.
It was
Who?
still very, very absolutely amazing. I won't give any stuff away because I'm gonna let all you people see it. But if you have time to watch it, it was just like mwah, chef's kiss. It's a great, great, great show for the spooky season. So it's helping me get into the mood, getting prepared. We got Five Nights at Freddy's about to come out next week. So we're just like,
Oh,
ah, fun.
I'm, I'm here for this. I started my own little tradition, 31 days of Halloween movies or horror movies in this case. And I know I've pretty much run through almost all of the Jasons, Freddy versus Jason, the Predators, and a couple of other fun ones. So I'm excited for that. And concert season is also coming out here in Atlanta. So Thundercat is coming on Sunday. I'm excited for that. And then One Music Fest is next week. So I will probably, hopefully, have some stories to tell. Hopefully, some positive stories to tell. But before we get into anything else, it is time, y'all. It is time to introduce our guest host of the evening. We have the illustrious, the notorious, just back from vacation, Doc Phoenix with her. Give us a round of applause, everybody.
Hello.
So let's talk about Doc Phoenix real quick. Yes, keep it going, keep it going. There we go. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
So, Doc Phoenix, liberation guide, sex educator, kinky captain, nudist, and entrepreneur. She is a lifelong learner and a lover of life with over 20 years of working in education and studying human behavior and sex. She has vast experience paying attention to detail and creating customized plans with the individual need in mind. If you're looking for a greater sense of personal liberation, and I need to know what personal liberation is, so hopefully we get to that in the show, especially in the areas of overall life, travel, pleasure, indulgence, nudity, sex. She is here for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Doc Phoenix, welcome back to the show.
Hello. Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Excellent, excellent. And for those of y'all who probably didn't catch the last show, I actually met Doc Phoenix here in Atlanta at the Sex Down South convention. So she helped me to put my toes into the dungeon. It was fun. I had a little bit of fun. It was great. But anyway, before we get into our main part of our conversation, we're gonna hit you guys with our favorites, a little bit of a hot topic, and we got a doozy. Oh my god, I read this one and I was like, I am conflicted.
Oh.
I, I am so conflicted.
All right, so I'm only bringing this up because look, we're talking about like freedom with Doc Phoenix and self exploration and all of these things. But the most important thing in all of those things is being honest about who you are and what
Yes,
you want
For
and
sure.
where you are in your mental capabilities.
Lord.
So get your drinks ready because this is a doozy. Okay. Am I the A? I'm a dad of a 25-year-old woman who I love very much. I've been able to have a good relationship with my daughter and I enjoy my time with her. But there's one thing about her that would give many people pause. She is a diagnosed psychopath. Oh, sociopath. Sociopath. She exhibited odd, disturbing behavior at a young age, and after a series of serious incidents of abuse toward her younger sister, I realized she needed professional help. Throughout her elementary years, she struggled heavily, getting in lots of trouble in school for lying, cruelty, and all other types of misbehaviors. With an enormous amount of therapy and support, her bad behaviors was minimized as she grew older. She received ASPD diagnosis at 18, and I had suspected it for a long time prior. After her aggressive behavior was tamed, her following years were much more fruitful. She was law abiding. She has a decent job and a good education and has many good friends and admirers, especially male admirers. She's very, very charming and adept at attracting men and maintaining their interests. She uses the old dating guide, the rules, like a Bible. She currently has a boyfriend of about a year and a half who is crazy about her and who I have a strong relationship with. He's a great guy, very kind, funny, and intelligent, but I doubt she loves him. We've had some very honest, in depth discussions about her mental health since her diagnosis, and she's been open with me that she doesn't feel love or empathy toward anyone. even family. When she acted very sad or broken up over the death of one of her closest friends at a funeral, she confessed to me privately that it was all a put on and that she felt pretty neutral about the whole thing. She has also stated that she never felt guilty about anything she's ever done and does not know what guilt feels like. While she enjoys being around her boyfriend and is sexually attracted to him, I highly doubt she feels anything about him love wise. Her boyfriend, who might be proposing soon, has no idea about her diagnosis, and she has been very upfront with me that she has no plans to ever tell him, thinking it will scare him away. I've made it clear to her that she needs to tell him the truth before they marry, that he has the right to know and consider it, or I will. To which she responds, I know you wouldn't dare. I actually would. I really like and respect this young man, and I feel awful for keeping this secret from him and letting him walk into a marriage without this piece of knowledge. Am I the A for possibly sabotaging my daughter's future, or maybe I'm helping her boyfriend understands what he deserves? So,
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
what y'all think?
That is loaded. That's a lot going
It's
on.
conflicting.
And I have
Conflicting.
so many different views on it.
What's your views, Doc Phoenix?
Well, for one, I feel like I get where he's coming from, but it's kind of like you have to decide, do I want to risk the relationship with my daughter? And he's also admitted that she's changed and we can be misdiagnosed all the time. So maybe she was misdiagnosed and maybe the interventions help and she can live a regular and productive life. They've been together a year and a half. I think you can only wear a mask for so long, and she can at least pose as someone who could function in society. And if he's none the wiser, like, what will it hurt him? I think I even thought further into like having children. Like, I don't know, it's just so much to explore with it. Like, I do think it's important to be upfront. Like, I'm all about being upfront. Don't take away my choices. But I also don't think, like, given all that I'm thinking, I really don't think it's the dad's place to say anything. Like, it's not his place at all. Like, at all. I get where he's coming from. I get the concern, but that's her story to tell and that's her thing to reveal. So I don't know, but I am still very conflicted. I am still processing that whole situation. But those are my immediate thoughts. And who's more important to him, his daughter or the son-in-law? Like, where does his loyalty lie? It sounds like with the future son-in-law. Mm.
How about you, KD? What do you think?
I'd sing like a hummingbird. I'm gonna be very honest. Just knowing what I know about antisocial personality disorder and what comes with that, I think people need to know. And I understand a lot of times with being someone with that, typically they are also very, very serious liars a lot of times. So they are very much known for being um, liars. They lie about everything, anything. They mask all the things that we already talked about. So understanding that as part of the giving nature and knowing this as a parent, I feel like as a parent, it's kind of your obligation because to me, it's almost, and I'm going to do my best to be as clear as possible. I've been married, not necessarily someone with antisocial personality disorder, but I have been in relationships and stuff with people who have other disorders. And I know how important and integral it is to a relationship. Like if they don't know or if you don't know, it's a huge game changer. And I think that it's extremely important to have honest conversations about it. And I get where Doc Phoenix is coming from, that it should be her story to tell. But let's just say if this was a guy, and we know that there's a high probability of a guy who has antisocial personality disorder to be abusive, to gaslight all the time, but to even potentially go as far as something violent. So I would want to know that as a woman getting into a relationship, even if it came from his mother and she put her neck on the line for me, I would very, very seriously thank her. So I think before I would give it away and tell it, I would do everything in my power to try to explain to my child that this is important. This isn't a game. And I will not back you in your relationship. I will do all the things to try to convince them to be honest, to be forward, and to tell it. But honestly, I know me as my personality, myself. I'm probably going to tell them if they refuse and I see this is going further than it should. I'm probably going to tell, and I'll just have to deal with the backlash because I don't want to be a willing participant in something that could turn out to be extremely disastrous. So no, I think not only is it something that is just like, okay, well, she'll tell in her due time. She probably won't. And if that's the way she's saying now, is that no, I'm not going to tell. Why would we think that later on? And this person is this other child of someone's is going to be in this relationship and not understanding the gaslighting and not understanding it's better that this happens before marriage than to get into a marriage and go through all the different things that's going to happen that takes you to point B. It could literally end in someone's death on either side. It's not worth it. I'd rather tell.
I would say I'm leaning more towards I want the boyfriend to know. However, I want the girlfriend to be the one to tell him and not the father. The only problem is in this, and I tried. Well, at first I was like, no, he doesn't need to be involved with this. Why would he? But then I thought about it. What if this was the boyfriend and the girl was the receiver? You would definitely want to know. You know what I mean. So I think in my case, I wouldn't call him the a hole, but it's complicated mainly because it's her choice to tell him. But the boyfriend has every right to know, so he can decide whether he wants to stay in the relationship with her and marry her anyway. So that way he knows it's like, okay, I'm willing to work through this with you, you know, talk through it, whatever, or he can run. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things when you find out later, and then you looking at everybody else, so like y'all weren't going to tell me, you know. So I don't know. I think that's where I kind of lean with it. Tracy, how about you?
Been in this situation. One of my friends was diagnosed a psychopath, and she was a charmer, and she could pull the men with ease. And I mean, they flocked to her. And I watched her destroy multiple men's lives. I watched her destroy families. I watched her do it all because she knew she could and she felt nothing behind it. I would tell. I told one of the dudes she was dating. I was
Did
like,
he stay with her?
got some. He was actually going to propose to her. And when I told her or told him, he went and talked to the family, and the family were like, "Thank you for coming to us. Yeah, like we want to tell you." And the family like opened up and told him everything, and it was hard to watch the aftermath. But here's the thing: people don't think anything of it when it's a man. But if this was a woman, everybody would be lioning out like, "How dare you not tell her?" If you're thinking of marriage, you're thinking of children. You have to think of like, could your children have something like this? And you don't even know it. Like, you just find out your kid is, oh, well, it runs in the family. Well, not my family. Whose family? And she's like, me. I was never going to tell you. Sorry, boo. It's
If she
cute.
decides to say
Toodles.
anything about it, then
Yeah. She wasn't going to say anything about it. So for me as a parent, I would feel responsible for my child and I would tell someone. But I understand that it would complicate my relationship with my child. I completely understand that. But I still have to respect every other human being. Like, I have to be honest the way I would want someone to be honest with me. But that's how this hot topic went. And it's a very serious way to open up the show, but we have to get it in line if we're thinking about who and where you are mentally. Like, if you're freeing yourself, you got to be honest about that stuff. You got to
yeah,
be, if you're with somebody, be honest so that they can I don't know, maybe learn about what you're going through and possibly support you. You can't pretend to be healthy, meanwhile, you're breaking on the inside because eventually that does show. So I think that was a good, like, little slide into, like, let's get into it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because at the end of the day, we all just want some liberation. And that's why we're here with Doc Phoenix talking about liberation. But we're going to get a little bit into the details of Doc Phoenix. So, hi, Doc Phoenix.
Hello. Thank you for having me
Excellent,
again.
excellent, excellent. And Doc Phoenix, do you mind telling us a little more about yourself?
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. So as a liberation guide, initially when I started out, because my primary job is in education, so I had to be kind of careful how I marketed myself, how I branded myself, how I presented myself to the world, because I still go into schools and I deal with parents and children. And so liberation, I think, is just at the root of everything. If we aren't personally liberated or just feel liberated as individuals, I don't think you're able to do anything else. So, with the overall stance being sexual liberation, kink, I just think that you first have to deal with yourself as a person, understanding who you are, where you are in life, get rid of baggage or things that no longer serve you before you can even consider, like, hey, I think I like this, or I think I enjoy traveling by myself, or I'd like to be worshiped, or I'd like to be spanked. You have to be very comfortable with yourself, and that starts in your psyche. So, just with the root of everything having just this personal liberation, I felt that it was important to start there and then branch out into the sex education and the kink and so on and so forth. So, the liberation is just our base, but then it branches like so much further. But then I realized that I really, really loved kink and hosting parties and exploring my dominant side. I know last year when we talked, I talked a lot from being like a masochist or being more of a bottom. And I probably did admit that I was a switch, but here we are a year later. So that means I have a year of hosting parties. And I was almost kind of, I wouldn't say forced into getting into my more dominant side, but just being an educator and getting people interested in kinks and different things, like I've had to do more demos or do more topping. So I was kind of going all over the place with that because I'm excited about the growth that I've had in the last year. But what I realized is I love kink. So I still focus a lot on liberation, and a lot of that comes just through me living my life. Like people see what I do, how I enjoy life, how I feel like I exemplify liberation to a degree. So I don't preach so much on it, but it's just through my life that other people feel liberated to do certain things. But kink is my thing now. Like I love kink. I love kink education. I love hosting the kink parties, and that's what I'm all about.
Okay, so let's talk a little more about kink. What got you into kink? Like, why is kink the thing for you?
Personally, I like I like the freedom that it provides. And kink can be so many different things. So I guess let's start there because we don't
Okay.
know what the listeners know about kink. I have a habit of just saying throwing out terms and just assuming that people know. So when we think of kink, somebody may be like, well, what is kink? So at the root, it is anything that is outside of the typical norms. So what the norms would be considered, and let me be careful because I know we can't say certain things. If we talk about vanilla, what can I say for sex? Can I say that word?
Intercourse, maybe.
Okay, so
Make
when we think about being vanilla, we think about intercourse, a copulation between just like a man and a woman, usually kind of missionary, lights off, nothing too adventurous, just kind of like what we grew up knowing. And I know we all grew up differently, but what the majority of the people grew up knowing. Well, anything that deviates outside of that, that you find pleasure in for whatever reason, is considered a kink. So what's kinky to you, Miss T, may be very mild to me. What's kinky to
Oh,
Tracy may be very mild to someone else, but it is very individualized. So just when we think about kink, we start there. Personally, I know that I've always been into pain. So I learned very early on that I was a masochist. But then I also love psychology, so I really wanted to get into like why. Why do I like pain? Like what makes me like that? Like nothing ever just is to me. Like there's always some kind of underlying reason. And just the psychology of kink itself, the science of kink excites me. And there's so much to learn, so many different avenues. Every single person you meet has a totally different story, totally different feel, and a totally different take on the same topic. So it's just like an ongoing case study to a degree, just like a wealth of
Oh,
things to explore. So, and I love introducing people to it, just like I did with you in the dungeon. Like, it's not a show off thing, like, hey, look, I know all of this, or I've done this and that. It excites me to see people stepping out of their comfort zone, not doing anything without consent, but stepping out of their comfort zone and saying, hey, I kind of like this. And you wouldn't have known you liked it had you not been introduced to it or tried it. So, I find pleasure in that, and I'm enjoying this walk.
excellent, excellent. Yes, because I
Excellent.
would say definitely on my side. It was like I'm looking at it, and she's like, "Why don't you go do it?" And I'm like, "Me?" She's like, "Yeah, you." I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, go do it. Go talk to the guy." And and it happened, and it was awesome. So I can say I would definitely would never have had that chance had I not had my chance to be with a liberation guide. If it, even though it was just by chance and not me hiring her to be my guide. So we are going to talk about your liberation guide and also you hosting parties because there's a lot going on there. But we're going to do that after we come back from break because we got to pay some bills. So everybody, go refill on your drinks, go to the potty. We will be back after these few messages. Don't forget, you can always like and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you have a question for us, you can reach out to us at Brown Sugar Confessions with an S at gmail.com. If there is a question you want to ask Doc Val personally, even if she's not here, she's still checking her emails. I promise you, because I done emailed her earlier. You can reach to her at Valerie at swancenter.com. That's Valerie at swan with two N's center.com. We will be right back after these messages. Da, da, da,
And
da.
scene.
And see. It's gonna be our
All right.
cutoff
So
thing one day. Say everybody and see.
what are we talking about during break?
Yeah, we have a little cool down thing here at this point, Doc Phoenix. So if you need to get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, come back. We're going to talk for a little bit, interact with whoever is online, and I can't tell who this is, but it just says one at the moment. So YouTube, my friend, if you are online and you have any questions for us or for the lovely Doc Phoenix, reach out to us. Go ahead and put something in the chat.
Think while we're sitting here, because I want to give Doc Phoenix more of our time. I want to hit this hot topic, Miss T.
Which one?
You know the everybody's jumping on my favorite girl, Jada.
Oh, our
Oh,
favorite trash fire topic.
I want to talk. I want
listen,
to talk about it.
We gonna talk about it
it's
now or on the show?
it's
Or we
really
gonna let
been
record?
interesting as someone who's become more and more grossly sex positive, I suppose, over the years, to just see all the pearl clutching people have over her. And a lot of, I guess I shouldn't get into it now, but it's just been really fascinating to see how people really are mostly upset. And it's really all about the sex. It's about sex and lack of respect, I think, for the masculine, for the male or whatever. It's like if this was the opposite way around, a lot of times people would have been like, whatever, she's a good wife. She's standing by her man. This dude's like, hey, I love my wife. And even though we aren't quite together in a way people are traditionally, I still have her back. She's my best friend. We're cool. And everyone's like, he's a battered man. And it's like,
I
He
mean,
I
seems
love it.
okay. He seems okay to me. If he's he can. I'm sure she doesn't have a gun to his head. Like
I mean, he didn't get beat up in an elevator, so I don't see what the problem is.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
Exactly.
don't see what the problem is. And the other thing too, because as I was putting the script together for the show, and I'm like looking at all the articles, and you know how they were talking about back in the day, and even back in the day, Will Smith was like, "I dragged my family through hell." All of his
mm,
family, like Jada, his kids, the kid with his ex-wife. He was like, "I put them all through the ringer." So I think a part of me is like, I feel like this might be his karma talking, but I think they're on a whole different scale. And I was talking to one of my friends about this, and I'm like, we gotta stop assuming that celebrities live lives like us
right.
Hmm.
because they don't. Diddy is a classic case study for this.
Yeah, I for me, I think it's just wild that people are like, they've been separated for so long. I'm like, so has your mama and your daddy and your granny and your papa. They don't be living together and he got a family across town. Why are you tripping?
Listen, I got an uncle right now that loves this woman. They done been living together for years. He still ain't divorced his ex-wife. He been living
And
with this
I
woman, I
feel
want to
like
say at least 30 years.
mm, I feel like people are caping so hard for Will because he has money and they wanna I don't know. I have
Hold on.
never
Wait, wait,
seen
wait, wait. We need to save this, but keep going.
So we gonna have to re-talk about it.
At least it's recorded.
um, I feel like the men and the women who are really caping hard for all of this, like she's disrespecting him. No, here's the thing. He does not believe in divorce. So he is fine with whatever she's doing, but we're not going to bring in all the times that Will Smith cheated, right? Y'all aren't thinking
No.
about that. You're not
and
thinking
the
about
the
that,
allegations because they don't want to call him by.
right?
Mm.
Right.
Like let's be honest. The only reason why y'all are going so hard is because in your dreams, in your imagination, you wish you were the star of Independence Day and you had Will Smith money and you could do the same thing. You would do the same thing. Rich people, wealthy people are aliens.
They
They
really
don't
are.
live like us.
They
Listen.
They
really
do
are.
not live like they do not
Nah,
abide by our laws, right? They don't
nah.
live like us. Um, and I'm sitting here and they're just like, one woman was like, there is no way I would live in a separate house as my husband and we're separated. And I'm like,
First
That's
girl,
of
I'm
all,
fine.
going
that
through your Facebook and I just saw your mama doing this stuff. What is you
Ooh.
and also if you are a Hollywood star or star wife, your house is gonna be huge. You ain't about to be living in
You ain't even
squalor unless you're doing it wrong.
right. I mean, look, first off, what you do is your business. No one just Will
Exactly.
Smith and Jada doing whatever they do isn't forcing you to change the way you are. If that's first off, just by the statement you made, right? Where they're like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that with my husband." Do you have a husband? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But usually when people say that, they're not even speaking from their experience, lived experiences. They're speaking from they're like, "Oh, well, if
Fantasize.
I was in da." Additionally, it's really about control and trying to
Wait,
keep
before you get any further, turn the thing back on. Turn the thing back on. Go ahead, turn it back on.
all right. I mean, we're already on. I just need to count us down and we're ready to rock and roll because
Okay.
we don't cut nothing off. I can start the music again.
Nah, you ain't gotta
Um,
worry about the music. We
okay.
just
No,
just
I'll do it again because I think I kind of got it down to a science. I think
we
now.
gonna lose our train of thought.
Oh shit. All right. All right. Go live in five, four, three, two.
And welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions. We want to thank you for joining us on YouTube. Uh, if you're listening to us on Power 1017, hey, what's up? Come like our page. Come like, we're cute tonight. Like, get over here. Um, Also, did you know that you could check us out on Spotify? That way, if you are like me, an ultra Virgo and you are cleaning your walls in your house and your baseboards, you can play us for hours on end while
First
you're
of all, you
cleaning.
clean
Isn't
those
that
things? The
amazing?
baseboards?
I I applaud us for doing that. Thanks, Brown Sugar Confessions. You're amazing. But
Y'all see those
seriously,
things on just real quick? I'm gonna sidetrack us for like a half a second. Did you guys see those little scrubby brushes that they sell on TikTok where you can like get your baseboards with this brush and just hit it up on the side?
Scrub
I have
daddy?
one.
Yeah,
I
I need
have
one of
one.
those. I
Wait,
need one
I
of
Oh,
what?
love
that
those.
it.
sounds good.
I love it. It works. I make my own floor cleaning solution and I'm just like a happy like lady.
Oh, wow.
It really does work. It really does clean your baseboards and clean all your grates. It's amazing.
So,
My
and then
sister
I
met
heard
her
you put
Virgo.
you take dryer sheets. You like swipe the baseboard with dryer sheets, and then like the
Yeah.
dust doesn't come back. I've never done that, but I heard
What?
that works
Okay.
as well to keep the dust from coming back.
So dryer sheets, especially if you have kids that like to lick walls or pets. Uh,
Who is licking baseboards? If
I
they're
thought,
licking baseboards, they deserve whatever cancer they
I was
You
like,
have
probably
first
you
of
have
all,
have.
more concerns.
I thought we took lead out of the wall paint. Why are we still licking
so
it?
so what you can do is, basically you can make your own solution to keep the dust away. You can actually dot in the corners of your home coconut um, coconut
Oil?
essence, right? Put it in the corners of your home and it keeps spiders out. Spiders don't
What?
like coconut. If you have ants, grind up a little white chalk and just sprinkle it around the baseboard. Ants hate chalk because they lose the scent. They lose the scent of the ant that walked through the chalk. So,
What?
look, Virgo cleaning over here. I know all the tips and tricks for like, if you want it, come and get it. But that thing does work. Get one. Get one for real. And get it on Amazon because it gets here in like 2 days. I washed my entire house. It
And she's
smells
so
so good in
excited.
here. It smells like apple cinnamon. Okay, but we're gonna get back to seriousness. So we're talking tonight with Doc Phoenix. If you have questions about your own liberation, I highly recommend reaching out to Doc Phoenix. Her stuff will be in a post or down below. If you would like to talk relationship advice, getting into the lifestyle, all of those good things, you can also reach out to our mighty leader, Doc Val, at Valerie at swancenter.com. I'm going to spell it. Don't you make fun of my accent. VALERIE at SWANNCENTER.com. But if you have a confession, bites thumb, you better get into brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com and confess. Don't worry, we'll change your name. We'll name you something cute, but
Like,
we still
like
want you
pumpkin
to, I
spice.
promise. Yes, we will.
Pumpkin spice.
Because here's
Ooh.
what we want to do. At the end of the year, we want to do reading viewer mail. Wow, that's where the party's going to be at. So let's stop this and let's get back into it. Miss
All
T,
right, so
go.
we are talking with the illustrious Doc Phoenix, and she was about to tell us before the break about liberation guidance. We got a little bit into it earlier, so if you missed that part, hang out for the replay, and you'll get to hear about Doc Phoenix and her experiences with kink. And also, she's hosting parties. I don't know where she's hosting parties, somewhere wherever she lives. But here's a question I actually do have. It doesn't have anything to do with that, but it does about hosting parties. So if somebody were to want to come to your party, what is the process of them getting in?
So we do have a vetting process. It's on my website. There's a form that they fill out, and it just kind of gets me to know like more information about them, why they're into the lifestyle, how far they are into the lifestyle, what they know. Just fill out general information, And then once I get that, they have to consent to a background check. So I do a background check, and once that's done, I reach out to them and schedule like a video call. And it's just to kind of let them know that I'm a real person. I get to see that person, because the biggest thing is just like safety, anonymity. Like, I deal with professionals. I'm a professional. People like to live their lives the way they like to live them, and it's not always in the forefront. And again, I just want to create this safe environment where people feel okay to act upon their proclivities without judgment, without shame, without fear of somebody going to tell their business. So we do the interview, and some people, like, you kind of get a vibe from people just from the interview. You don't know everything, but they get to ask questions. They get to become more comfortable with me. We have munches every month. We just had one actually last night, and a munch is a vanilla event for people who are in various forms of lifestyle. And you can come and eat and fraternize, ask questions, meet people. Different people host their munches differently. I just kind of like for ours to be just kind of like just open conversation around food and drinks. We did a speed dating last night. So it gets you comfortable, and it helps you to build rapport with people before you show up in a dungeon and we're having somebody on the cross, or you are in the hot tub doing whatever you do, or so it's just not this big shock. So there are things kind of in place to help people get acclimated, ask the questions that they need to, and that's all still a part of the vetting process. Because even if you are allowed to maybe come to a party and your vibe is off, or it doesn't seem like you have good intentions, then at that point, like, you are not asked to be a member. Because again, safety is very important to me. So that's our process, but it starts with the application, which is on my site.
Excellent. So if you're in Dr. Phoenix's area and you are interested, you know what to do. Get on her website, get vetted, and then party on, our friends.
Indeed.
All right. So let's go a little more into liberation guide. So what is your experience as being a liberation guide for other people? Do they come to you? Is there like a question they have? Like what, I guess, what is the process for that?
The process, honestly, with the Liberation Guide, I have been focusing more on the party side. So there is an opportunity, like, there's a form also on my website for people who, just say, like, hey, I'm having trouble with, like, I met someone today and they were like, I want to do solo travel. But I'm like, are you even okay with going out to eat by yourself? So oftentimes people don't realize that they can do little things and have certain steps. So they can start out with reaching out on the website. Sometimes I meet people in person and they're like, hey, this is a goal of mine. How do I get started? And we just kind of like break down what it does. But my passion is really lying in the parties, and liberation comes through that in itself. So initially, I thought I really wanted to do like the coaching thing and the one on one and the follow up and all of those things. But I'm learning I'm very like hands on, and I'm
Hmm.
enjoying more of the hands-on approach with the liberation. So it's not so I really need to update my website. Let's start there. But my liberation guidance has come more through hands-on and having those one-on-one experiences with people, and kind of like guiding them that kind of way. Not necessarily like, hey, we've come up with this plan. We're going to talk every Sunday. This is what you're going to do. It's been more so like weeks or months of like us communicating and guidance and doing different things. So I don't know if that really made sense to y'all, but that's kind of the way I'm working it right now, as I'm kind of,
Okay.
seeing what I feel most comfortable with, my style of being a liberation guide. And that's what's been working with me so far.
Excellent. KD, Tracy, do you have any questions for Doc Phoenix?
You. I think I'd like, okay, so you just mentioned like the person talking about, I would like to solo travel. And your initial question was like, do you go out to eat by yourself? That is, okay, one, that is, I would have never thought of that. I would have never, but again, that's why you're the professional and I'm just like kicking it. Um, but can I ask what, for an example, someone who has been vanilla for
Hmm.
their entire lives and they're looking to, say they have a partner that is more experienced and is in the lifestyle, and they want to understand it and like possibly get into it, what would be the liberation guide, like an example of a liberation guide for this person?
I always start with effective communication. So let's start with a conversation. I don't know how you're feeling, you don't know how I'm feeling. I don't know what you know or what you're into unless we have a conversation. And we can't assume that because my last partner felt this way about it, whether it was positive or negative, that your current partner feels that way, partner or partners. So let's start with a conversation. Let's set some boundaries. Let's see where we want to go. Let's keep the lines of communication open. Um, it's just gonna always start with a conversation. I'll definitely say that. And then from there, like I've actually had an opportunity to work with couples and be kind of like hands on, not me touching them or doing anything with them, but saying, hey, let's try this thing out. Do you understand the language? Do you understand how to effectively communicate with your partner? Because as I said last year, and I stand by that, if you can't effectively communicate, I don't think you need to be doing anything with anyone because there are risk
Absolutely.
involved. There's just so many things that could go wrong that if you are not able to effectively communicate, it could just be a disaster. So I really like to start with just effective communication, understanding where people are mentally. Like there's so many things that go into play before you physically start acting upon something. Um, Getting them to do like a BDSM test. Like I think that's very important. And I don't know if any of y'all have ever taken the BDSM test, but if not, I think it's a great way to start
Hold
because
on,
it
which one is
introduces.
this? I think I did a test, but I don't know if it's the test.
Well, I generally refer to bdsmtest.org. And just
I
when
took
you
that
go
one.
on to take the test,
Okay.
they're asking like your orientation or your different things. And it lists like 25 different things when you were like, well, I thought there was only three. So it's just so much to learn from there, and you start answering questions and being very honest. We talked very early on about being honest, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I'm into this, or I thought maybe I was into this, or I have no clue what this is, but I have 80% of it. Okay, let me go explore a little more. What does that mean? Doing yes, no, maybe lists. All of it is going to go back down to communication. So I'm gonna say that's what we do. Definitely start with the conversation, have that effective open lines of communication, and understand where each other's coming from, and be willing to set boundaries and move forth with your plan, whatever that may be.
Okay. Excellent. KD, do you have
Thank
any
you so
questions for
much.
Dr.
I
Phoenix?
think I'm in a group that is about the lifestyle, and there are so many people in there that are brand new to it. And well, I don't want to say brand new. I think they were cheating before they were in the lifestyle. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mhm.
And now they're trying to get into it, and people in the group are, some people are like, no, you have to like communicate with each other. It is not a thing where everybody just has free reign and you're just out here doing this. I don't think people understand. um, they assume because you are having intercourse or intimate time that you just jump into it, and I'm like, no, there are like, you can really get physically hurt,
Mm-hmm.
physically hurt doing this, and you can get mentally hurt. Like, and we know those mental scars, they last for a long time after the physical
Mm,
has healed. And it's just refreshing for me to hear that the first thing you do is you talk. Like, you don't just jump in and have a situation and then say, talk to me while you're going through it. Like, no, that's not how any of this works. But thank you for that.
You're welcome.
okay, excellent. So I know outside of, well, I guess it's associated with hosting parties, you also were, or I shouldn't say were, but are a BDSM person. So that means you got toys.
I do have toys. I have lots of toys. I have a whole dungeon. Um, and toys
Ooh,
that
that's
come
what I'm
along
talking
with it.
about. That's what I'm talking about. So, I know you probably can't show us your dungeon, but can you, I guess, tell us about your dungeon?
Okay, sure. Um, so in the dungeon, I have let's see, it's open space. So within it, I have a St. Andrew's cross. Because again, I'm a masochist, so it was very important for me to have that. Just I like
And
the
that's the
aesthetic.
big X, right?
That's the big X with the things
Okay.
you can put your arms up, you can strap your legs to it, and on it is my big paddle that I have, that I really
How
enjoy
big is it?
using.
How big is that
It's
paddle?
it's about that big,
That's
and
a
it's
big
a
paddle.
it's a big paddle, and
Oh,
it's about
it's
this
that
thick.
thick?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's a big
Oh
one.
oh.
my.
There's a massage table in there. There's a bed. There's all kind of different toys. Some of my favorite things to walk around with, because again, I'm getting people to try new things. And one thing I always let people know, I'm big on consent. Anything other than an enthusiastic yes is absolutely a no. Everybody who comes into this space understands that I can't control how other people run their spaces. It may be a free for all. We don't work like that over here. You're getting educated, you're going to follow these rules, and it's been working for well over a year, and I plan to keep it that way. But back to the space. I love walking around with my violet wand, and showing people like how we can incorporate electricity, whether it's to someone choking you or me just
I'm
gently
sorry.
putting my
What?
fingers over
Electricity?
you. Yes. We
Electricity?
get another break, I'll go grab my kit and show you. I keep wax in the room. I think I mentioned there's a massage table, because everything does not have to be pain or like really intense. Like it could be just a sensual massage, or we could speed up the tempo or use temperature and do all kind of things. I have stuff for like sensory play in there. Some people may just want to feel like feathers on them. I have people who are sapiosexuals and they really just want to have conversations and over a nice drink, conversations I don't get to have with other people. So they may use conversation cards or play different types of games. I've extended Actually, I purchased a hot tub, so sometimes people just like to go outside and have hot tub conversations and do all kind of other things out there as well, and just play games and enjoy themselves. But it's just a wide open space for people to feel safe and relaxed and judgment free. And back to the toys, like I have lots of things. Just
That is
lots of things.
amazing. Amazing.
Oh, and a
I,
cage.
I'm,
My cage. I forgot to tell you
I'm
about my
sorry, you
cage.
what?
I
You
have a
got a
cage
cage?
as well.
A
I have a
cage.
cage. Yes.
A cage.
Yeah, and I
How
like
big
to
is the
put
cage?
people. It's big enough for at least two people comfortably, and I like for people to. I decided I wanted a pet. I don't own a pet, um, but I have a leash, and I've actually had the opportunity to walk people's, mainly daughters. I haven't had any male pets, even though I've had people ask, into the cage, and they have their little bowl, and I give them some Scooby snacks, and if they're a good pet, they get to come out of the cage, or people do different things in the cage. It just depends, but yeah, it's a whole kinky
Mm,
playground.
I know that's right. She said she got
I
somebody's
had
daughter on
one
the leash.
pet.
Y'all better walk out. Oh no, y'all gotta watch out.
And it's a cute leash too.
I
And
only
I have several leashes.
do you?
What
I
kind of
would love to
leashes?
see them. I've only had one pet, and he was a male, and I had so much fun.
They can
Was
be
that a
fun,
Taking
huh?
him
confession?
on walks. It was nice
She went
taking
down
him on
memory lane.
walks. It
Look,
was.
She's like, oh.
Oh my
so
gosh.
so that's a new subject unlocks for me. Like we got people with pets
Pets.
over here. We gotta find a pet to put on the show. Are they
we
allowed to
need,
talk?
if you allow them to.
Oh, okay. The more you learn.
I need a pet that does housework.
I know that's
They
right.
have those service subs. There are people who, like, a lot of, I think sometimes the misconception is people think it's always the big S in nature. It's not. It's not. Some people really enjoy catering to others, or being very submissive, or cleaning your home, or licking your feet, or just so many different
Hmm.
directions this thing can go in. But yes, you can find you a service sub, and it doesn't
I
have
Oh,
to
mean,
be
there's
anything.
there's always someone in my Facebook saying that they will be my service sub. And one day I might have to find a way to make that happen in real life.
Vet,
I was
vet
saying, how
them.
does one acquire a service sub?
Well, she has someone expressing interest. I would say if it's something she's serious about, do your vetting process. Get referrals. Hey, have you been a service sub before? Because you don't want just any old person
Exactly.
in your house,
That's
in
that's
your
why
life.
that's why I typically ignore the DMs. It's usually not that case, but it is sometimes tempting when people come in and will be like, "Oh, mistress, I will clean your house," and I'm like, "You will? You'll do my
Mistress.
laundry?
Oh, see,
You'll
these are
do my
things I don't
laundry for
know.
me?"
I'm gonna say they just already step on the right foot when they come to her. I love it. Well, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, I think I got spam bots on mine because I'm like, this is like a scam.
Yes, I think they're usually scams. But I now wonder, will there be someone for me one day who will clean my house?
I
Be very
mean,
intentional about it. If that's what you want,
yeah,
Yes.
that's what you shall have.
manifest a service dom that wears one of those cute little outfits, like the little butler or the maid outfit.
I'll take either or. Or somewhere in between.
There you go.
That'd be legit.
Wait, wait.
So it shall be.
So, can I ask how did you go from the one-on-one coaching, that kind of aspect, into doing parties? Was it like a huge jump or just something you just fell into?
It was just like a natural flow. I had to be realistic with myself. Like I said, initially, I wanted to kind of play it safe and tiptoe in. And I thought that I would prefer doing like I don't know if even any of y'all have ever experienced like life coaching. I thought that I wanted to be that person. We check in every week, we write out this plan, and I'm still doing it. It's just different. It started with a conversation with myself and just being real with myself and what's going to be most liberating and how can I serve people the best. And it was actually just through I started hosting parties and I started hosting them just as like adult game nights. And I would throw out, hey, we're going to be looking at these topics in the future. If it's something you're interested in, do it. So then I start meeting more people, just like networking more, words start getting out more. And it just kind of like happened. And I found myself having to streamline my process, like my vetting process. And, more and more people started coming, and it was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I literally tell people, or people tell me, like, this is your ministry. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like it feels great to feel like I'm walking in my purpose and I'm actually serving people. Like that is the best feeling in the world. So I guess I could almost say it just happened, but I feel like it was destiny and just what I was supposed to be doing. And like I said, just being real with myself. Like I know I don't want to check in with you. Sometimes I'm horrible with follow up. So to say we're gonna write out a plan, we're gonna check in every 2 weeks. Yeah, Chantel, you're not going. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Amy. You're not gonna do that. Be serious. But these parties you host every month, these munches you do, these kickbacks you do, these educational sessions you do, the teaching you do, you enjoy that. And that's the route you're supposed to be taking. These trips you're planning, this membership you're doing, and I just find such excitement around it for me and the people who are involved in it. And it keeps me going. It keeps me wanting to be my best and do more. So yeah, it happened, I guess, in divine order.
Hey,
Y- I can't be happier when someone is just like, it just, it wasn't hard. You just kind of, it flowed really,
It
really
did.
easy. And
It did.
I think that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this weird fight and I gotta struggle to get through this. No, like you know what's meant for you, and it just comes and it just lays itself out, and you're just like, oh,
and
yeah,
there it is.
that's it.
So
And I
in
like
that,
how
did it
everything starts with a conversation. Go ahead.
everything is going to start with a conversation, even if it's with yourself. I still get to do some type of coaching because there are couples who may want to delve into like polyamory or kink, or like how do I even effectively communicate. So I still get to do it my way, just not the way I thought that I intended in the beginning. Just recently somebody was saying like, hey, I'm dealing with confidence again. again, that's something that can keep you bound. You're not feeling liberated if you're not confident. So there's so many just rudimentary elements that you have to get over in order to be liberated. So even though it wasn't the way I saw it at first, I'm still getting to do it. I'm still getting to help people with their confidence if they're wanting to travel, if they want to effectively communicate, if they want to explore kink, if they want to look at opening up their marriage or their relationship and understanding how it works, because there's a wealth of information out there and it can be very confusing. Like you said, I know you said you're in a group, Tracy, and you probably see how the way you do non-monogamy is not the same way I do non-monogamy. It can be so confusing. So you need somebody to help you, and sometimes you need somebody to just give you permission and say, it's okay. Just because they're living their life a certain way, and I don't know if we're going to get back into the Will and Jada thing. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on that, and that's okay. They're allowed to live their lives the way that they want to, just as you're allowed to live your life. And some people don't feel that way. It's kind of like, hey, we were taught this certain norm. This is what we're supposed to do. This is how it's supposed to work. Anything that deviates from that is wrong. Well, who says it's wrong? You know? So sometimes it just starts with even feeling like you have the right to and having that type of permission. So I still get to coach. It's just not in the traditional sense that I thought it would be in the beginning.
Excellent. Thank you, Doc Phoenix, for joining us once again. And we got to have you back again because there's so many ways that we can talk with you about what you do and how you do what you do. So if you are cool with coming back for us, it doesn't even have to be for Kinktober to hang out with us again. Let us know.
Anytime. I love chatting with y'all. And I get to learn from y'all too.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much. Ladies, gentlemen, YouTube land, radio land, it is time for us to slide on out of here. Thank you for joining us again. Remember, you can always reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. You can always reach out to Doc Val at Valerie at Swan Center. That's Swan Center with two N's.com. You can always like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't forget, we're on the path to 100 subscribers. So if you have not liked and subscribed to us yet, get on that. We're trying to get there because we got something special when we get to number 1,000. Also, we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. You can follow and stalk Doc Val on her TikTok at Valerie Nefertiti. Or is it Dr. Val Nefertiti? I don't remember. Just know there's a Valerie and a Nefertiti in there somewhere. And she'll probably pop up because she's seriously viral. That's how TikTok works. Anyway, we are out. Miss KD, Miss Tracy, Doc Val, I am Miss T, and we will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody. This is us at Brown Sugar Confessions. I am Miss T. Here is Tracy. Here is KD and our illustrious guest host, Doc Phoenix. We are getting back into our conversation that we ran out of time on the show to finish it up, but we did talk about it during our break, and we are talking about the glorious trash fire that is the Will and Jada situation. Because it's very interesting and it's very polarizing. So if you ever get a chance to look at anything on social media, you're either going to be Team Will, Team Jada. I am Team Stop Making Celebrities your role models. How about you guys?
Well,
I'm team live your life according to your standards. And I'm also team they know what they're doing because they both making money from this. So,
I know that's right.
you know, they
exactly.
got
She
rich
done put
people
out a
problems
whole
that I can't
book.
relate to. She has a
Yes,
tour, she has a book. They know what they're doing. Like they are business people first and foremost. So
yes.
they're both
Yes.
actresses. Yeah.
It's a lot
We
going on
don't
in
even
that.
have the money to have them rich people problems, but it's
No.
consuming the lives of so many.
Yeah. That's how you know we as regular peons, we ain't got nothing going on in our lives. Maybe if we had more people going into kink, we wouldn't be paying attention to all
That's
this.
it. That's it.
Seriously. Seriously. If you were busy out there living your best life, you would not have time to worry about Will and Jada's. But that
Absolutely
said,
not.
So with that said,
why is it that everyone, because so here's the thing about this for me. I thought we all had this conversation already. I feel like we have had it, we've hashed it out. We've already discussed the fact that, like, I feel like probably 15 years ago was the first time we heard the rumor, I mean, so to speak, that they had open relationships, that they weren't really together, that they were doing their own thing. They were rumors. Then, after Red Table Talk, it kind of became out there on the forefront for everyone to know. And then after the infamous slap, I feel like everyone had that conversation again. And I feel
Oh,
like
there was the
we
whole
just like
August
we had
Alsina thing
just
too.
finished the conversation. Like we had wrote it down, we scribed it, and the ink wasn't even dry yet. And here we are having the same stupid conversation again. Like, I mean, I get it because for them it's working, for her book it's working because we are keeping their mouths. We are keeping their names in our mouths, and that's what this is really all about, in my opinion. But otherwise, in terms of people truly being affected, like I see people online now talking about, like, I mean, God, I just don't want to hear about them anymore. And why must we know so much about their personal lives? Why does she have to talk so much? It's like, because this is how they make their money.
Exactly.
And I mean, especially if you consider the fact that he's his gigs cut because of the infamous smack, slap, so to speak, kind of makes sense that they're
Mhm.
picking up on some of their other side hustles that they have going on. I'm not even mad at them because guess what? I would do the same thing.
Mhm.
So I feel them, but people getting upset over them doing what they do, especially the fact that they're upset that Will is still staying with her. Poor Will, poor Will. Like, this man was obviously cheating in the beginning. If Will was doing the exact same thing, I'll always throw this out. If Will was doing the same thing and he was talking about having open relationships and how they're not really together anymore, la 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 la, people would understand, well, he's a man. This is what they do. Well, this is what happens when you're married to someone famous. This is what happens when you're in Hollywood. This is happens when you're in the limelight, either take it or leave it. But you better not try to leave with all the money, whatever. They have both, as two adults, two grown people, decided together that this is the way they want to live, that they're not going to get divorced. They're going to go do their own things, but they'll come home and they'll work together as a team when it comes to getting their books written and stuff like that. So, why are people so upset? I think the reason is because it is a mirror that is being placed in front of them. It shouldn't be, because you don't have, like they say, Will Smith problems. You don't have multi-million. Um, but people see this and they look, one side of them understands because they are still kind of bound by societal pressures. They're still bound by religious pressures. They're still bound by these things that are invisible, that they are keeping themselves from doing the things that's in that little dark corner in the back of their mind. And they see them living it out loud, and they don't their own skin enough to live out loud, be it maybe not the type of things they're doing. It might just be something as simple as leaving their significant other or having multiple partners or whatever. They don't feel comfortable with that. So seeing someone publicly doing things that they consider shameful, but I wish I could do it, I think it really is triggering to people. And I'm going to hop off of my soapbox.
That was a good
No,
soapbox.
I completely agree. I feel like people are just, like you said, they want that life. They really do, but they can't because they're so worried about what other people would say and how they would feel. It's all ego, right? Like, yo, my girl could never cheat on me, but the moment she cheats on me, it's over. But you can cheat on her 50, 11 times, and she's supposed to stand by you.
Mhm.
Like, it it for me, I don't even understand it. And it's all of this talk and Will and Jada really, it just brings up just like so many issues I have with people
Mm,
as
Uh
a
oh.
Virgo. And I'm sitting here, and if we're talking about Will and Jada, I also want to talk about Drake's Wax song where he was talking about it was a shade thrown at Rihanna where he's like sex with her was average. No, it wasn't, boy. No, it wasn't. You know how I know it wasn't? Because in your house, you probably got a picture of you carrying a baby with Rihanna on your arm because you still wish it was her and she was singing work, 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 how you was feeling over in that video. Stop. Stop. Like all of it. Just admit what you want. Admit it. Because the moment you admit it, you free not only yourself, but the person next to you because they see you trying to live in your own authenticity, which is why I have no shame. If you'd have asked me like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, if I lived like this, I would have never told you anything. You would have never
Hmm.
known.
Hmm.
But I'm at the big age where nobody else is paying my bills. And
That's
even
the
if they were,
I
I
don't
don't
give
care. I'm
a.
going to live my life how I want to live it. Let whatever they're doing, and they're happy with it. Their kids are in therapy. I'm sure that's probably more than most people can say about their kids. Their kids are in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Their kids
They're
probably
going
seen
to
a
family
lot.
therapy, right? They're going to couples therapy and family therapy to understand the dynamic in which they have. And they probably are way more open than everybody just sitting there like, I could never, I could never. No, you could never, which is why you're with a dude who has seven other children outside of your relationship, but you like to pretend like that's not what it is.
Three of them they got
Live
while
your
they were
life.
together.
Mm.
Real talk.
Maybe
And
I
be
should
Hmm.
look at her
honest
on
about it.
sex.
Just say you're okay with it. So, and let that person go cheat and pop and like peace. And it's not even peace if you're open about it. They're just having a relationship with somebody else. Like, be cool. Chill out. Go drink some Sprite or something. I don't know.
Not
Sprite?
Sprite. Is
People
this the
still
The
drink
McDonald's Sprite
McDonald's
Sprite?
or
Sprite.
regular Sprite?
It has to be the McDonald's Sprite because that Sprite is spicy.
Yeah, it is.
It can't be
I don't
regular.
know what they do to that Sprite, but that Sprite is hella spicy. Ugh. But yeah, I pretty much agree with all of you guys. And the main thing, like I said before, we cannot put ourselves on the same pedestal as celebrities, especially high level celebrities like Will Smith. Like Will Smith is in his own other stratosphere, like him, Diddy, 50 Cent, who all of these people lead very random lives, and all of them have trash fire relationships. So it's like, why would you consider yourself an equal among them? One, and then two, get mad when their girls go and do their own thing. Like you're supposed to just sit there and be the yes, no, maybe,
Hmm.
and just stay by and just support your man. No, you have your own life to live. One, while you're married, and two, after and before. Should you decide to leave?
Right. I mean, these
Stop
people
it.
act as if, like, most likely Will Smith has, or let me back that up. People act as if Will Smith isn't doing his own dirt. And the only reason we probably don't know about a lot of his dirt, because we got little tidbits of it.
Oh no,
But the
we
only
know enough. We
reason,
just have amnesia.
well, there is that. I think the only reason he didn't have his August moment, so to speak, recently, should I say, is because he probably has an ironclad NDA. He probably has been a bit more careful about his selections. And are we just going to say, "Oh, well, he was," you say no? I don't know then. Cuz
I ran
has
out
there
of
been
drink. Do I need to
recent,
go refill?
apparently, I was going to say, has there been things that's come
When
out recently, cuz I know there's stuff that came out years ago, but I didn't know there was stuff that happened recently where
no,
people
not
spilled the tea
recently.
on him.
So it was around the same time as the August thing. It was when he was doing that first Suicide Squad with Margot Robbie.
Was there something there? I saw photos today, but was there actually, or was that there's actually something?
Oh,
So
oh,
Allegedly.
there, allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly, actually something.
allegedly. So if you go back and you read, just look up Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Suicide Squad, all that stuff, right? So, you know, obviously they met. They had a very they had a very intense connection, right? You're on a movie set, of course. Everybody has intense connections. It's like freaking high school. It's like being in a military barracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intense connection. They took these very fun yet kind of intimate and awkward, the photo booth photos.
Yeah, I
And
saw those.
yeah, so there was something that came out around there, and the people that happened to be there that night gave statements that were just like, yeah, they're very, very close. Like that's what they were
Mm.
saying. And
Mm.
uh in one interview around that time, Will said, he's like, my wife knows exactly what I'm doing any given time or day. He didn't say he wasn't cheating.
He
He
just said
didn't
she
say he wasn't.
knows.
She knows. And I'm like, people aren't, it's like reading comprehension is not real anymore.
Neither is critical
It's
thinking.
not real, right? Because I'm looking at that and I'm just like, oh, so not that I care that they have an open relationship, but good for them for living that one as like a black couple. You're like being honest about your feelings and you're doing this and you're doing it in a way that both party knows and it's not some weird like, oh, he cheated, she cheated. No, everybody knows y'all are on the outside of this. Please remember, y'all are like, this is space and I'm the sun and we do what we do. Y'all don't even matter. Like, y'all aren't
But
even real.
I think that's the other thing too, is that a lot of people either don't recognize or don't accept open relationships. And I think that's the big thing because we're so used to being that monogamy is the standard. Like everybody's supposed to be monogamous. Like, and that
Mm,
also goes into our conditioning growing up is that you're supposed to be monogamous. It's one man, one woman, and that's it. And y'all are supposed to make babies and work to the bone until you die.
One man and one woman until the man decides that he wants to get some new.
we're making vacation babies.
Or making vacation babies.
Mm-hmm.
Or the big booty lady, brick house lady down the street. Grandpa.
Yeah, whew, that's a real
Grandpa.
thing, but
No,
people ain't
seriously,
folks ain't
like
ready.
do some crazy stuff like that. Like
Oh
everyone
yeah,
has
yeah.
like a pawpaw or something like that that you
Yeah,
found
you're
out
right.
years later was like, oh, that lady down the street that grandma didn't like. Yeah, there was a reason for that.
Mm.
Had a whole family on the other side of town with almost the exact identical birthdays of all my uncles, aunts,
Listen,
and
first
mom.
off, do y'all know I got a brother that's the same age as me? Sorry, he was born a day after me. Same
Yeah,
year.
like this is
We're
this
one
is
literally
real.
one day apart. Like people
You know
people
I
be
ran
okay
out
with
to
stuff
drink,
like
right?
that. Huh?
You know I ran out of drink, right? You can't be dropping news like that. Like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, no, I talk about him all the time. So I have a brother. Hi, Harold. That is one day younger than me. We are a day apart. Same
Wow,
dad, different mother.
Yeah, it's real.
that is
But
It's
wild.
real.
it's really interesting. I think that a lot of times people are it's so part of, you know, just the culture, so to speak, for men to do things like that. Like people might get a little upset, like, "Oh my God, that's so horrible," but it's accepted to a certain extent. But God forbid if a woman not only ran out but ran out and have a baby, like you're considered pretty much the scum of the earth. No one considers that to be okay. No one
Yeah,
asks to say like if the man chooses to leave, it's like that's understandable. But in the opposite direction, it's like, oh well, maybe you should be forgiving. Should you forgive and pay for the other partner's, external child or whatever? So it's so ingrained culturally because of the desire and need to like have this nuclear family at the expense of women, in my opinion, that it's just part of who we are in these, and people think this is something that's been forever, but it's not forever. People have lived many different kinds of ways through life, and the way we live today is only really based on 100 years truly, in terms of, and it's not even that far, it's probably more like the last 70, 80 years that the norms and morals that we're used to are kind of been shaped around.
Definitely
So
under 100.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Crazy.
Leave Will and Jade alone. Leave Will and Jade
Wait, we need to get a blanket and we need to do that.
Just take one of those signs that says, "Leave Will and Jada alone. We're
alone.
tired of talking about them."
You know what's funny? Like, fortunately, most of our audience is within our age range, but if we go to TikTok, most people won't understand that reference.
Nah.
Which, who else has a book? Britney also has a book out, and no one's really talking about the
Hold
fact that
on.
she kind of
Britney? Like Britney Spears, Britney?
Britney Spears, leave
What?
Britney
I heard about it. I heard about
alone.
that.
When she write a book?
she the thing. So she wrote a book, and in her book, she exposed the fact that she was having copulation sessions with just and apparently they were having a moment, and he's like, yeah. She's like, all right, how did she put it? She was like, all right, when are you gonna put it in? He was like, it's already there, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
oh.
oh,
But I mean, I already got those vibes from him. Nonetheless,
oh.
she is also putting everyone and her own business out on the street, but they do not have the same smoke for Britney Spears as they have for our friend Jada. No,
Oh
no, no,
wow.
no.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they don't. They don't. They really don't. And one, when she came out that she had her
Bipolar
abortion,
disorder.
her procedure,
Oh, the abortion.
yeah,
Oh,
the
mm-hmm.
abortion,
Wait, she
right?
had an abortion?
And, yeah, she did from Justin Timberlake or
Timberlake.
Timberwolf or
What?
whatever his name is.
These
Um,
Gucci
Allegedly.
kids be getting down.
Allegedly.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Um, I was like, yeah, of course y'all had intercourse. Y'all was wearing denim outfits at the MTV Awards. Like,
Man, man.
Listen,
I'm not wearing no denim outfit with you if I'm not hitting them. Like, what are you talking about? Of course we knew that.
I'm
But
not
I
wearing
think the sad
denim
part,
outfits with someone that I have to ask if he has to ask if it's if you have to ask if it's in yet. Like, I don't know.
oh, that's so horrible. The sad part about it that really like made me sad was after she had the procedure, he's in the house playing the guitar, probably crappily.
Mm.
Yeah, that would piss me off. That would be grounds for the end of our friendship,
Yeah.
personally.
Oh wow.
And I understood why after that if she kind of got with allegedly Fred Durst.
Oh, I missed that part. I gotta catch up. I
With
gotta
Whistler
catch up.
guy?
Oh, you don't remember that video he did? Justin Timber Wolf, whatever his name is. Uh Cry Me a
Oh, Timberwolf.
River.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute, what?
What? Remember the video? Cry Me a River is a girl
Wait,
that
that
looks
was
exactly
related to
like.
that? Ah,
Yep.
what? Do you
Wow.
know how much I be sitting there singing along with what's her
Cry
face? Yes,
me.
D'Ambrosia. What's her face? D'Ambrosia. Um,
Poetry?
huh? Yeah, the Floetry girl. Cause she sings that hook.
Mm-hmm.
So I be sitting there all the time. I had that drawn up on blast. I feel so much better that I know it's her and not him singing that, because I really, really love that part, and that's like my hymn. So it's really nice that it was actually her, because I really don't like him that much. Um, but yeah, no, I had no idea that that was related to that at all. Now I need
Yeah.
to go. I need to go dig some more tea. I gotta. Maybe I might have to read both Jada and Brittany's book.
I mean, I saw Jada's
We
book on
should do a
Audible
book
today.
club.
We should do a book club.
Oh no, we're doing a book club.
She's like, wait a minute, I don't have time for
I
all of
don't
this.
have time for a book club. Can it be on Audible? Then I can listen to it while I'm driving in the car. I ain't got time
I
to sit and
I
read
mean,
no
why
more.
not? The last book that I technically read, I didn't read. I actually listened on a audio. I'm down with that, because I really don't have time to sit down and read. I probably should get a little light at my bed instead of watching Netflix to go to sleep. read books or something. But then I'll never make it through the book anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Audible. It's easy.
Audible.
I listen to Audible while I'm working out, and it's crazy because I'll get to a point in the book and I'll be like, "What?"
We're like, dang, that's crazy.
It's so fun. Everybody's like, "Are you?" I was just like, "Yeah, this book is wild, yo. This book is wild."
I did see her book on Audible. Okay, I got a couple credits, so maybe I'll download it for the sake of chaos.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what that song is about. But again, like you said, they don't have the same smoke for Britney that they have for Jada. They don't even have it for any of the Kardashians, which is hilarious. They don't have none of the same
That's true
smoke
because the
for
Kardashians
any
is
of
nothing
them.
but a walking trash fire. But
None of
that
it.
we
They
don't
don't. They
talk
don't
about
say
them as
nothing.
much. At least not since Kanye.
Wait a minute, what?
I mean, not since Kanye. We ain't really been talking about the Kardashians like that.
Wait, so we know that Kanye. So if we're gonna talk celebrity gossip, we might as well just talk celebrity gossip. Like
Let's
we
do
know
it.
that he didn't got remarried recently.
Did he?
He
Hmm.
did,
To
to a
who?
woman who basically was like, "Yo, he smells like literal death." But okay, let's go. I'm still gonna give him blowjob. I can say that on YouTube, right? I'm still gonna give him eggplant satisfaction, or despite the fact that he
Oh,
smells
did
like
he
grated
marry
cheese.
Backstreet?
They got married. Yes, they did. In a
What?
small wedding. Yes, they did.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
Mm. You
That's
know?
definitely got to be a money move. That has to be a money move. Because who is this lady?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
People
don't
are
know.
calling her a Kardashian. I don't see that personally. I don't know.
I don't see it either. I think they're just calling her a Kardashian cutout because she is other presenting. Um, but she looks crazy. I'm not gonna lie
She
about
does
it.
look crazy.
I
I'm like,
mean,
Hmm.
why is you wearing pantyhose and heels out and a turtleneck? I was like, I don't care how much money I mean, wait, hold on, let me think about that.
mm,
I mean, I do care. If you give me enough money, I
Is there
might
really enough?
wear.
Oh,
I mean,
Honestly,
he's a
no.
little under a billion, ain't he?
Because if somebody gonna take a picture of me, I gotta pay somebody to take the picture off the internet. There goes some of my money. Like, no, I'm not doing it. But here's the
that
thing. Like,
pictures are forever these days. Ain't no scrubbing
Yeah,
it from the internet.
the
It's
internet.
literally
The,
no,
none.
if it's on the
it's
internet, if
crap.
it's not on the internet, the dark web got it.
Listen, if it's on the internet, I got it. It's somewhere saved in one of my 5 billion files on my 5,000 hard drives. I promise you. It might take me a long time to find it, but it's there.
Dang,
But yeah,
I don't know how I feel.
it's
I don't know how I feel about Kanye being remarried. That don't sit right in my soul.
It shouldn't. I don't get it, but to me, I understand to a certain extent, and I
I'll say,
hope
please
people.
explain it to
I
me.
almost hate to have that conversation because once again, as I spoke earlier, like I've dabbled quite a bit with a lot of people, I guess allegedly, that has bipolar disorder, and those people with bipolar disorder is like my best friends, my ex boyfriends, husbands, friends, husbands, 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 boyfriends, and all these other things. So it's like for me, I kind of get it. I tend to get along with people that whose brains kind of go into left and right field an awful lot.
Mm.
And to me, I feel like I can see a lot of his like crazy wanderings and I understand it. But sometimes he goes so off the beat with the whole right MAGA stuff. It's just like, bro, I can't go
You're like,
there
I
with you
can't
on that.
save
Like,
you if you keep
can we
going.
please not do that? Like, there's a lot of things you can do, but don't do that. So I have a small place in my heart for him because I remember even back when he was like on TVs calling, like saying George Bush hates black people and saying crazy things, like
Oh,
hopping on the
I,
stage. Like I was like, yo, that's my dude. Like I love that dude. He will say whatever. Yeah, I don't care if he's nuts. That's my man. But then he had to go on a whole another
And then
tangent.
he showed us how nuts he was, what flavor
Hmm.
nut he was.
But I say that to say I understand, because there is a little bit of sweetness that comes with sometimes with that kind of chaos. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I understand in the case of someone like his new wife, whose name none of us knows. Um, I understand why you may even enjoy being around someone like that, because while on the outward world completely ridiculous and it may also smell, apparently, um there's a lot of interesting conversations and wild in-depth things that takes you out of world when you have conversations with people who are not sitting in the same plane as us, so to speak, if y'all
That's
get what
fair.
I'm saying.
That's fair.
So I get it. I don't get the smell. The smell would bring me back to reality and remind me, like, okay, either you get a shower or dude, we're gonna have to leave. You look, Doc Phoenix is looking like, what the hell? Who's not taking
I think
showers?
yeah,
I
I
figured
think your
y'all
camera froze.
be talking about like Kanye or whatever was going on, but I have no clue about the smell.
So apparently, allegedly, his now new wife, she wasn't the wife when she said this, was like, yeah, he really smells terrible. He doesn't take showers for most at a time.
Wow.
And she's still going down on him?
On a boat in public?
yeah.
She couldn't at least kick him into salt water to get some of the funk off?
Something. Listen, I can tell you it wouldn't be
Wait,
Let the
is
fish
that
me.
eat the
where
dead flakes?
is that the boat where she was where his booty crack was showing?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Oh my. Oh my.
And that's why they
Hey.
Look, you couldn't pay me. I feel
Woo.
like
not
he's trying to
there.
play who's the doctor that made Frankenstein the monster? What was his
No,
name?
his name was
That is
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. That is
Oh, it is his
Frankenstein.
name.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I feel like he is trying to make her his next
His
muse.
monster.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Frankenstein's monster. So he
Yeah.
would be Frankenstein, she would be the monster.
Yeah,
So
I
make a
feel like
celebrity overnight, as they say.
yeah, the same way he
I
tried to
like that
do for
reference.
who's
Oh
the
wait, that wasn't Kanye. Who was that? That was Twista.
Mm.
Yeah. But
That
oh,
was
I thought he was.
Twista.
I mean, Kanye produced that song, didn't he?
He did produce it, I think. I'm gonna make you a celebrity overnight.
Overnight.
yeah, yeah,
I miss the old Kanye. Dang.
Me too, man. Me too. Listen, I'm one of them
right.
people that people probably would hate, because I'm not used to do that, but I will never absolutely hate him. He made too much music that I love for me to hate him.
That's
I
the
mean,
thing. It's like this is why I wish, and I tell this to people all the time. I just wish certain celebrities
shut
that
the
that right there. Just
It's
be
free
quiet.
for
Be
the cost
quiet.
of free
Stick in the
99.
shadows. There are some celebrities that we know nothing about. All we know is that they make this music, they show up from time to time, they look weird, they disappear.
We
Like
beg
my
you.
Exactly.
Listen,
that. I'm like, just be quiet. We don't care who you with. We don't care what club you going to. Just go to the private stuff. Don't be seen. Don't be seen. Just make music. You're gonna make money regardless. I don't want to know what sketchy situation you're in, because now I gotta question my ethics on whether I continue to support you as an artist or go watch your movies. I don't want to do that. They got people that like, what you call it, R. Kelly.
our smelly
That dude.
ain't no liking him.
Right. Now I
I can't
can't
even
like
make an
him at
excuse
all
for
because
that.
I know too much. Like I had to stop
Mm.
listening to his music and I'm like, dang. And then like I'll remember a reference or something that had an R. Kelly song behind it. I'm like, God dang it.
Listen,
Why?
I to get over our smelly schmack. Not schmack, but his music and listen to it. Except for the fact that I have to listen to songs like "You Remind Me of My Jeep," and then I'm like, so he was calling a little girl a Jeep. Then it's like, Age ain't nothing but a number. I bet it wasn't, my Negro.
I had a
Like,
guy
I'm
that was
not
trying
going
to
to sit here. I
serenade me
can't
too.
listen
You
to his
remind
stuff
me of my
because a
G.
lot of his music, like so much of his music,
We
you
grew
hear
up
it and
to.
it's we grew up to, but more importantly, it was all related. Like you could tell he was sitting in the bed with children writing this stuff. And I can't live with that. Like it's one thing if it's like you're just writing music and it's just great music and it's not relevant to your experiences. But you could tell so much of his music was relevant to the experiences he was having, and
That.
those experiences were so inappropriate. And I can't divorce that. And people
That.
ask all the time, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, you can't. Do you have to like?" Make there are times where I very much can divorce the person from the music, but in his case, it's so impossible. I think the
Yeah.
instances where I might be able to listen is stuff that he wrote for other people. If I can listen to it and not really hear that in it, you know what I mean? There's a couple of exceptions where it's like, all right, I'm not going to cut it off just because I know that he wrote that song. But almost none of his music I can listen to and feel as if like it has no relation to the things that he was doing. Even down to Step in the Name of Love, I feel like even outside of say the fact that he was, doing things with people underage, he was doing things with people who were adults that he did before they became adults, and there was just so much like control and manipulation involved. It's like none of it can be excused. So I'm going to hop off my soapbox again.
I just want
As she
celebrities to
drinks
just
wine.
shut up. Just shut up and just, do your job and stop being too weird. It's a little bit of weirdness is okay, but like big weirdness, not so much. We don't need to know about
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, no to all of
Yeah.
that.
Anywho, I think we're good. I think we've run out of our celebrity topic. So, long story short, everybody's tired of Will and Jada.
Mhm.
Kanye, when you come back to Earth from whatever planet you're on, we might still be here waiting on you.
But
Everybody's
the
like,
album
listen,
better be
okay.
fire.
The
The
album
album better
better
be
be old
fire.
school Kanye, though. It better be old school Kanye. That's all I'm saying.
Not that gospel stuff that's not gospel at all.
You know what? I
None
don't
of
even
that.
think I actually listened to any of that.
It's all garbage. No one listened to it.
Dang.
Continue.
And that's the end of my summary. So, Sadie, Tracy, Doc Phoenix, it was nice talking to y'all. Everybody have a great night. Once again, this is Brown Sugar Confessions, the after party. If you ever want to hang out with us at the after party, remember that you can always hang out with us on YouTube. Reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. Our illustrious leader, who is probably somewhere stepping on someone's neck right now, will be back next week.
Or wiggly
Everybody,
jigglies.
yeah, this is also true. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you all next time. Don't forget to stay safe